What's going on, guys? It's LadyB. This weekend marks some incredible showings of wars in the EWU, the Elite Warriors United. So stay tuned for one of my favorite wars, but particularly because I was joined by Judo Sloth for a dual cast. Stay tuned. This is Activit-E versus INTZ. We had some incredibly close matchups this weekend for EWU, but one of the best was Activit-E versus INTZ. I was joined by fellow caster Judo Sloth. We were able to cover the war together, so I hope you're able to sit back and enjoy this matchup if you missed it, or enjoy it all over again. But before we get into it, if you want to see these wars live, don't forget to follow me over on Twitch, where I do live stream all these wars, and you can join in on the action and be there in the chat to see every attack as they go down. So get those follows in, turn on those notifications so you know when I go live, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. But let's head in and see how Activit-E did against INTZ. I typically do polls at the start of the war, so I'm going to invite the people over on my stream to let us know who they think are going to win. They can get their answer in chat. Who will win? Who do you think will win? Do you think it's going to be Activit-E? What do you think, Judo? Do you think it's going to be INTZ? INTZ's been on fire.
Oh, they have. They really have. I'm going to go with INTZ. As much of a fan as I am of Activit-E, because I think they certainly have, managed to beat a lot of top clans that you'd always just default to having them as the favorites, basically. And Activit-E have put up great matches, but given some of the results we've seen from INTZ recently, I can't bet against them.
Yeah, INTZ has just had a huge turnaround. I think there was that catalyst with maybe it wasn't the catalyst, but they've just been incredible since that Tribe match. Tribe had lost a little bit of steam. We saw that over the past few weeks. They've turned it back around. Yesterday going 4 for 4 in their wars. They did a great job, phenomenal job. We finally saw the Tribe we knew. But I think that that devastating blow from INTZ has really lit a fire for INTZ to just keep powering through. They've always been a strong team, but it's like it's turned around. We have seen them doing incredible work. The majority of the poll is saying INTZ is going to get the win, 79% right now, and I think I might have to agree. I think if I were to root for someone in this, it would be INTZ.
So we still have a few more seconds then. So what do you think? I see a lot of your viewers putting some scores out. What do you think? I'll put my neck out there straight away. I'm going to say 12-11 to INTZ. Oh,
okay. I'm going to put it at, I'm going to go with 14 for INTZ. I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with, don't hate me, Activit-E. I'm going to go with 14-12, and we got the first attack actually coming through. So I'm going to pop this pull down and let's dive in and take a look. Luden coming in with a queen charge. I'm sorry, a Yeti smash action, kicking off with the Warden.
Yeah, Grand Warden down to the 6 o'clock area. Looks like he's fishing straight in towards the Town Hall area. Presumably we can see the Siege Barracks across to the 9 o'clock area, driving everything straight in. It's how quickly he can get to the 2 scatter shots, though.
Yeah, those scatter shots, knocking those out. We've got the initial charge that we're going to get to see. I noticed the super wall breaker that's going to give him the initial push through with the Yetis, and then the quad quake that's going to open everything up. So this is going to be an interesting power through. We've been seeing a lot of variation with our Yeti smashes, and with the way that we're getting them in. Yeti Bobats obviously bringing in a different component with the wall wreckers leading the way, but we are seeing these variations with super wall breakers kind of getting that initial entry. But we've got the Warden leading up to the Town Hall, picking up huge value.
He missed the Town Hall.
He walks away. Yeah, he walks away from that king dropping just late, just shy of getting it done. But he's got an easy recovery to get it, forcing the ability, trying to keep everything safe through.
did you see the super wall breaker took down the town hall? That was incredible.
Absolutely insane. We've seen super wall breakers doing some incredible stuff today. Taking down a town hall, definitely one of those things. A nice save on that. Able to work everything back through that quad quake, opening up that corner of the base to get to the back end here. And we still have the Queen and RC ability to power through.
Yeah, struggling a little bit on the back end scatter shot. The Yeti's caught on the Barbarian King, but as you mentioned, with both abilities intact, it might be that we can get through this. I feel the single target has to go down if we are to have any chance of getting this.
Yeah, the single targeting ITs are always the bane of a Clasher's existence at the end of the raid. That freeze, perfectly placed to hold it off, giving the RC just enough timing to knock it down and take on less impact from the Expo and from that scatter shot. Absolutely beautiful, and holding on to that Queen ability, which is going to help out coming into that back end with the mini Tesla farm. We still have a P.E.K.K.A, but he's pretty low health, but he's got the time to do this and the power. Nice saves on this.
Very nice indeed. The Queen just has to get through the wall. I do love that the Wizards have helped the P.E.K.K.A. It's all a matter of time with a full health gold storage. Is it going to be enough? We've got to pop that ability. Oh, it is gonna be a close one.
Yeah, that might have been my jinx. They're gonna say it in chat that I jinxed that one. Almost had enough power to get through. Unfortunately, with the Queen locked up there, 96%. But man, talk about a way to turn around and recover a base on that one. What's going on, Rorak? Good to see you. And you guys can watch over on Judo stream as well. If you want to pop into his chat, go hang out with Judo as well. We're both dual casting this one. Great to be a part here. Judo, you want to take a quick look at that on the replay? See if we can take a look and catch that wall breaker knocking out that town hall. Really tough with King kind of pulling that focus there, dropping just enough troops to pull the warden out of the way before that town hall goes down by a sliver.
Oh yeah, I mean, it didn't end up making too big of an issue because the super wall breaker got it, but a mistake either way, and definitely took some damage. But I don't think you could gain more value from a super wall breaker than that.
No, absolutely not. Like I said earlier, we've been seeing some incredible stuff coming out with those super wall breakers. The value you can pick up with them, just kind of in keeping them for accidental instances, even using them in blimps. We saw that earlier today in one of the CWL wars, where you drop it in with your Yeti blimp and it knocks open the wall if you get pushed back. But incredible to see it used in missing out on the town hall. Obviously, he would have picked that up regardless, kind of cutting through. He reshaped his lineup here, which was kind of the original intention, but still able.
I think it might have been a bit of a fluke. Let's just say it how it is. I don't think the super wall breaker was meant for the town hall. I think he was just going to sideswipe it. But either way, super cool.
So we're not going to say that it went all to plan. All to plan, right? It's exactly what he thought of when he brought that super wall breaker.
That's exactly what it was for.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Can you remember there was a video going around on Twitter, I think this was 2 or 3 years ago, and it was of a regular wall breaker taking down the town hall. Did anyone see that?
Yeah, that was like one of those kind of legendary attack ones that they did, kind of like the legend of the lava pup. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, it was similar to that. It was similar to that. I used to love them adverts though. That's worthy of a recap video, Mara Jade says on my stream. Absolutely. We're into the next one though. We've got Hugo Stiglitz of Activit-E.
Yeah, Hugo Stiglitz coming around. We saw earlier today an MCS war, but we didn't see Hugo there, and that's because he's playing over in Activit-E now. We've got him coming back with air. This is kind of his home turf, air attacks, bringing in the O.Z.Y Lalo here. So drops the King, the O.Z.Y entry, ultimately to open up the Queen access to get into that single IT chamber, limiting up some of the pathing, shaping up the base so it's a little bit more narrowed out for the loons to work their way in. And the Side Skull, I'm going to do some solid tanking along the way.
Yeah, it was nice that he had the Barbarian in that area as well, because his ability spawned all of the Barbarians, and that tanked the single for just long enough that he could get that Ice Golem in and get a lot more value. Could he be fortunate here and get the enemy Queen as well?
Yeah, that would be a huge push if he's able to get the Queen in, but we see him starting the RC, Loon coming in. Queen is pretty safe right now, though. She's taking on the heat from the 2 cannons, but we've got that Blimp coming through to take down the Queen, take down the Eagle, unleashing some additional Loons to come out and knocking out the Queen with the Valk. Makes easy work, but the Eagle does not go down.
Yeah, that's massive. Not getting that Eagle down. Hugo Stiglitz obviously had that as part of the plan. I don't think he wanted the Queen to get the Queen anyways. That's why the Blimp came in. But it actually worked out better that the Queen was able to thin out some of the defenses. Right now, he's just trying to lure the Witch into the poison, get rid of that. He's not going to be too bothered about the Hound. He'll pull that with the Archer later. And I think we will then see the Lalo in towards the Town Hall, coming to the Eagle last, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're going to see that happen. Eagle's at the tail end of an air raid is not ideal. And he's also running down the clock. This has taken up a lot of time. So we can't forget that these air attacks, you really need to get going. Most attacks, you want your entry done with a minute 30 left over to get everything pushing through. But he is working with hastes. It's a matter of sweeping everything coming in. But there's a lot of damage coming at him with those scatter shots. And the Eagle and the Tornado Trap just keeping him pushed off. Warden
He's
ability.
pushing everything into the Town Hall. He doesn't have a lot. He has to haste an extra couple of Loons to the Town Hall. Rescues the 2 stars only just. But think about it. He is super, super close to the 3. If only the balloons had a path to the Town Hall, this really had a good shot.
Yeah, this and also with the entry. I mean, the initial entry not getting the value, the time wasted on that, all this stuff, just a few things holding it up from the triple. But recovery counts for a lot. You can really see the pro level of some of these players in how they handle when things go wrong, keeping calm, especially when the clock is ticking, and missing something as massive as that Town Hall. That's that heart attack moment where you think, oh my goodness, I've got to take care of this now. What am I going to do? Holding off on some Loons, some troops, just in case, is always a good backup plan. So nice recovery. Saving the 2-star, but we do have INTZ in the lead because of that 96%. So starting off 2 stars, percent lead for INTZ.
Yeah, so INTZ have to go perfect now if your prediction's going to be right, LadyB.
Yeah, I did predict 14 to 12. This is not boding well for me to not see that triple come in. We'll see. Maybe I can change it to 13 to 12.
Well, the drag bat is one of their favorite methods. I see numerous of their team using and having success with the drag bat. And that's what they're doing on this one with 3 single target infernos. Interesting approach.
Yeah, those single ITs. Interesting to see bringing dragons, but that's where the bats come into play because dragons do not do well against those singles. Singles roast them. Where you have Loons, that's not a big deal. Loons don't like the multis. Dragons, oh, they don't like these singles. And they're right inside the base, so bats are going to have to be placed strategically to take it out, along with the use of the heroes to help knock this out. And that's where you see this opening. Queen working in to take on the Eagle. We've got the RC, who's already forced her ability, not going to be able to get further in to take out the single IT. I wonder if that was a bit of a mistake there, having to force her a little bit too early. If she could have gotten in to take that out, big value there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Either way, he's carved a beautiful path for the dragons to come straight in from the left-hand side. No, he's coming in from the right-hand side, sorry. But yeah, definitely would have been better value with that single. Like you said, the dragons are going to be hung up on that single for quite some time.
Yeah, and it's both of them that they're coming directly in at, which is a bit unfortunate. And beyond that, they've still got the scatter shots to worry about. We do have the Blimp cutting across straight through the Warden aura there, able to get that ability off to keep it safe in case it picks up any traps along the way. As you can see right there, that black bomb coming up gets it right over the Town Hall, but we've got a perfectly placed tornado trap holding it off. Will he get what he needs on it? Freezing it up to continue this moving along to ensure he safely gets past. Beautiful timing on that.
Wow,
getting the
that
Loons
was
even safely
beautiful
through.
as well.
Yeah. That's coming in for those ITs, Judo. Look at this go.
Oh, the Wizard Tower on the left just did too much damage onto the bats. He'd already used the freeze. They fortunately got up to help the dragons with that single Inferno, which we knew was going to be an issue. And thankfully, he has enough left to just help the dragons through a little bit. And with 1 minute left, I think we could be looking at a 3-star here, LadyB.
Yeah, unless there's a crazy slew of back-end air traps, I think he's got this. Massive pack of drags working all together to come up along that 6 to 9 o'clock side of the base. Look at that one archer trying to single-handedly take down the storage herself, but it doesn't matter. These drags got it covered, but she's a team player.
I am trying to count the dragons right now because even though we had that many singles and that many singles that didn't go down, he's protected pretty much all of the dragons. What an amazing attack. And it is a 3-star for INTZ.
Absolutely.
Maybe your prediction is on the cards.
Don't jinx it. We don't need the curse of the caster.
I'm the pro jinxer. I'm the pro jinxer.
So I'm going to pop that back up on replay. That deserves a beautiful look through. Again, Cavarudo coming in strong there. And I agree on that. Absolutely impressive to see such power through on a drag attack against those single ITs, especially having to come in on both and the scatter shots all in one fell swoop early on.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to struggle with that single target Inferno, especially with the bats struggling a little bit as well. But we do have the response from Activit-E behind on percentage and behind by a star now. They've got to get a 3-star here to keep themselves in it.
Yeah, INTZ definitely paved the way with that early hit, that 96% 2-star, keeping them, if it came down to percentage, with a nice hold on a lead here. So the only way around is with the 3-star, but we've been seeing a lot of great work from our Queen Charge hybrids lately. This could maybe be one to get it done. Working his way, this queen has great access if she wants to work into the town hall chamber, but equally, he can line her right past through, heading towards the queen, still picking up that town hall.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to get the scatter shot, a multi, and the queen here. Really good value from this queen charge. A little bit risky. That's where a lot of the spells are used. The freeze, the rage, but really good value setting things up for that ever so powerful hybrid.
Yeah, I mean, this is incredible what he is picking up. 2 scatter shots she has the access to. Both of those. That is huge impact. The only other thing to worry about is the eagle on the back end, and that's easy for the hybrid to pass through with the value she's creating on this. Now, I do see another super wall breaker. I wonder if he's going for a massive push here or if he's just going to hold on to it, but he can easily sneak it past into the rage, get it sweeping across into the next chamber if he wants to go for a power push here. But we're just at that minute 36 mark, and the hybrid needs to come underway and get done, and that's where he's got the king already going and the siege barracks helping to line up the pathing to keep the hybrid moving along in an easy single line.
Right at the right time the hybrid came in, but the difficulty here is the healers have switched to the hybrid, which is a good thing, but it means the queen hasn't got the second scatter shot you mentioned, LadyB, and that could be an issue for BN coming down to it. He does have really good value with that queen charge, lots of miners and hogs coming through, but he doesn't have really good pathing to that back end scatter shot.
Yeah, we do have a couple of hogs sneaking up there, but they get hung up on some skellies right in on the radius. Maybe, the RC comes in to take it out, and that is exactly what he needed. He gets a little bit of a fan out on the defenses, but it's not a bad push. Pekka and King still working along the outside edge. RC forcing the ability to get through those last defenses. 39 seconds left. He has got this.
The response, exactly what BN needed to do. I think the tornado trap, if I'm not mistaken, pulled his hogs and miners in range of the scatter shot and actually did him a favor, but who cares? BN did what he needed to do. 3 stars it is, and we now have a one heck of a war.
Yeah, keeping it close here. These are the wars that we like to see. Shows the level of skill that we have in these leagues. EWU has been great at selecting their teams and keeping these epic wars that we want to see constantly, week after week. Incredible showings from these clans. Activity definitely stepping up to the plate here. We still do have INTZ sitting higher up on percent, that initial attack. I mean, if you're going to 2-star on that first hit, a 96%, you cannot be ashamed of. But beautiful performance there, BN coming in where he knows he's needed. And we'll see if we can pop this up on a quick replay too while we wait for that next attack to go live.
Yeah, I don't think Activit-E will be too disappointed here. We know the attack by Hugo Stiglitz was super close. Whilst it was a lower percentage, it was really close to that 3-star as well. So both teams putting up a fantastic fight. And this definitely is one of them heated wars we talk about.
Yeah, heated, definitely. We saw that earlier today. We're continuing the momentum going, keeping the star count up. It's really anyone's war at this point, straight through. And O.Z.Z.Y going to see if he can determine it a little bit more here. 3-star continues to put the pressure on Activity to perform, but a 2-star could ease it up on them. Coming through with the O.Z.Z.Y, Lalo. We have the king shaping up the pathing here. We'll see the queen pushing a little bit further through. We've got that super wall breaker to give her some access, likely heading into that scatter shot chamber so she can pick up some nice value along the way.
Yeah, she should get one of the air defenses, but also get some pretty good pathing as well for that Lalo, because she should be able to get all of the defenses in that area, especially if the ice golem is used. But just waiting patiently so that she does target this area, and here it comes. The queen will directly target the air defense.
Yeah, coming straight in on that air defense. We've got the ice golem there, taking that lineup, tanking. It is a very heavily saturated defensive area, which is why you would want to bring an ice golem, so the queen has the opportunity to hold on to the ability as long as possible while the ice golem freezes up and gives her access to take on some of the heavier hitting damage items. Scattershot goes down. We may see the Expo and AT go down, but either way, she's done what she needed to do.
Yeah, I don't think O.Z.Z.Y could have asked for a better start. Does indeed get both the Expo and the Archer Tower. That was incredible. And you can see the pathing for the Lalo now. Not going to have any issue from the sweepers. Will be ending on the back end scattershot. But is that where the battle blimp is coming in? Or does he send this with the actual Lalo?
Yeah, and I have to point out we still have the RC to come along with this as well. He has yet to use the RC. So she could bring in a big push kind of towards that back end and helping out. Nice pathing here for the blimp, cutting across with the Lalo portion. We've got the E-Drag coming through. He had that Skelly spell to help knock out the enemy hero, that enemy queen, taking her out, but he also had the backup of the E-Drag regardless, which is going to help with a lot of this cleanup here. Nice path for the loons.
He got every single one of them loons inside the Grand Warden's ability as well, which helped massively. And as you mentioned, Royal Champ on the back end for that scattershot. It does look good, LadyB.
Yeah, I think he didn't even need the Royal Champ here to help finish this off. Probably could have swagged her considering how well these loons path through. Absolutely incredible. But we've got 32 seconds left to go. This E-Drag at the top side of the base helping out with the storages is definitely critical. The fact that it survived up there and is taking care of the cleanup, definitely key. Should be enough time to get this done, but we still have some builder huts in the center of the base. But a loon.
Yeah, he's got that one balloon coming in. He's got now 10 seconds. Grand Warden in the right area will get that. And this is about as close as it gets. 3, 2, oh my
that
word,
chain! Oh my goodness. O.Z.Z.Y, you beast, coming in. That E-Drag clutching the triple there. That could not have happened without that lightning chain. Oh my goodness.
That was as close as you wanted to be. Talk about building the suspense for us and giving us a fantastic war. Now we need Activit-E again to come back on the 3-star. Dare I see it? Predictions? Looking good. Looking good. Not for me. Not for me.
What was your prediction again? You said 12 to... Did you say 12 to 11?
Current hit rates, it's not looking good.
No.
But I'd rather give that up in order to see some epic clash. Of course I would.
Yeah, and the chat is going wild for that raid. You were right in saying it could not have been any closer. Those suspenseful attacks, I don't know how the players get through it if we're sitting here quite as astounded. But we've got iPro coming in. iPro for Activit-E. Definitely have to come in and try and pick up a triple and get Activit-E back in on this because INTZ is not letting up.
Yeah, I wonder if Hugo Stiglitz had anything to do with the planning of this attack. It looks like we're going to see a O.Z.Z.Y mass hog rider. We know how good he is with that, or was at Town Hall 12 anyways. So let's see what iPro is doing here. Definitely unusual to see this amount of hog riders in an attack.
So we see a quick switch on the Siege Machine, bringing in the Blimp. We originally had the Wall Wrecker there, so kind of thought he might have been cutting through with that. But we'll see how the Queen works. We obviously have the Ice Golem doing that tanking here for the Queen to give her some access early on. We do have an opening in the base, though. Look at that. There's a natural opening in the base for the Queen to walk right through. So taking advantage right there to try and work the Queen inside here, pick up the single IT. This is very, very smart.
It is. She's got to work her way through the storages is the only concern I have, because that will take a little bit of time. But check it out. Right outside of radius of that single target Inferno. So really good. However, is he going to get it? No, she's going to walk.
Yeah, she is walking. I'm surprised it didn't cut more of a funnel for this one. It would have been incredible to see her take that on. It was really solid idea to work with that. But we have the hogs coming in, that mass hog action. I don't think I've actually seen this in Town Hall 13 yet. Blimp coming through the Warden ability, but do we have everything safely through, having to force that ability quite early? Hogs path around. He's got the Blimp.
Interesting approach. Maybe he meant to leave the single to path the hogs around and just use the Battle Blimp. If he did, that was phenomenal. But he's now going to get to the scatter shots, the Eagle. Very strange indeed. I'm not sure what the original plan was, but let's find out what iPro gets here with the Hog Riders. They've got to get through both of these scatter shots.
Yeah, the single still remains. That's going to pull them back up later in this raid. He still has all those heals left over. He's got one left to get through. Would have been nice to see that last one trying to cut down a little bit further past, but he's not going to have enough to get through. His pathing unfortunately did not work out. I do wonder if the initial plan was to try and get the IT, but I do like your thought that was going to pull the hogs around essentially. But it seems like that would have been quite a lot for these hogs to work with.
A very risky plan as well, if that was the thought process. However, we are where we are, and it's only going to be a 70% 2-star for Activit-E, which means they now fall even further behind in terms of that percentage and the start to INTZ.
Yeah, that's a big blow to them on percentage. Typically, we want to see these 2 stars hitting somewhere around that 85% mark. If you slip too far behind that, it's a tough go, especially when you have these top attackers. We saw that 96%. It's really tough. You know, we saw the plan that came in from Hugo as well. Hugo with a pretty solid plan there that unfortunately fell off, hitting that 82% mark despite everything going wrong. So we'll see if they can turn it back around on the star count, but this is going to be a tough go now for them at this point. We've got Budweiser coming in, one of INTZ's top hitters as well. It's really hard to say who the top hitter is on some of these teams, right?
It certainly is. You know, they have such diversity within their team, and I think it's always important to remember that people have different roles as well. And I think that's one thing that we're really seeing emerging across these tournaments is people really nailing down what role each individual player has.
Yeah, definitely a team effort. And they have the opportunity to do that with this style format because they can work together and spot for each other. And I think you see a lot of that in their planning. But let's see how Budweiser does coming in with this Yeti Smash. Obviously, the Warden doing some solid work here. Now, someone asked me earlier today, why do you use a Warden over a Queen on these? And a lot of that just comes down to the range that the Warden has compared to the Queen, where you can get things accessed like this single IT that the Warden can reach, where the Queen...
Oh, but he's lost his ability.
Oh, losing that ability is tough. A lot of times you do these warden walks, you know you can save that ability coming through. And he also lost a freeze on that one that really didn't necessarily benefit, but was kind of that knee-jerk reaction to ensure that it powers along. So the tough issue here is going to be that centralized town hall that could do in the remainder of this raid.
Maybe we should reverse what you were talking about, and when you would not use a warden walk, and definitely not in this situation unless you could protect that ability. As you mentioned, with that freeze would have been ideal. Obviously, it is good to pull the warden with the funnel as well, able to do that with the Yetis. And they are now moving to that town hall, but he's not going to have a good push. Might have to switch to the battle blimp here.
Yeah, it's
Nope.
It's a bit too late to go in with that battle blimp. We've got the siege already dropped. He knows he'll get to the town hall. He knows he'll take it down, but what is he going to recover coming through is the bigger question. He's gotten a decent push with the king along the outside, heading down towards that 6 o'clock side of the base. Pekka's still going strong as well. Town hall is down, but he's lost every single Yeti. He still has a queen and her ability, but she's going to be taking on the heat of not only the Expo, but 2 single ITs and the RC. So that means that ability's got to get forced. RC is a bit too far behind to try and take those on. Queen at very least coming in. Ooh, not able to take down that single IT. The enemy queen pulls her focus. Almost had a chance at turning it around.
You can see the plan here, can't you? If he could have used the Grand Warden's ability and a rage right in the middle in order to get through this, we're not too far away.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the freeze came down so late, but he's still holding on to that freeze, trying to keep that RC safe through. She won't have enough time to get a shot on it before it targets her. And we still have the enemy king defending this base, but can the loons come in, sweep up, or are they going to get knocked down by the wizard tower? Oh my goodness. Talk about a way of trying to recover this and turn back around. Wizards coming through to help with the cleanup, but the loons have to come in, knock down that single. 7 seconds left. A minion's trying to take out the storage. And it is
the balloons get it.
99 100. No, come on, Budweiser. So close. Are you kidding me? Look. Can we even look at what was left over? It was
with a swagged warden ability. If only the warden ability could have been used in the middle. But what it does mean is Activit-E can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, shall we say, because if that 3-star had have gone in, then it really didn't look good for them.
Yeah, that definitely turns us back around in their favor to try and pick up the 3, to try and get back on the star count here. And we've got Akram looking to see if he can get it done for his team. We've got a little more hybrid action. No super wall breakers on this one, but I see 9 wall breakers, which means we're going to get a nice big push coming in.
Yeah, and that's what we see from a lot of these pro players. If they can combine the wall breakers with a rage spell perhaps for the queen charge, you can get much better value than committing the army troop capacity to the super wall breaker. Whenever you're comfortable with it, that's what value you can get. The queen charge is coming straight forward to the enemy queen, the scatter shot, the eagle, looking good so far.
Yeah, definitely looking good here. I want to point out that he's using the jump early on, not the next layer of wall breaks to get a little bit further through, but he's also taking advantage of kind of the natural shape of this base, which could eventually pull the queen back over a little further up past the eagle. But we do have the hybrid underway. Queen's continuing on. I like that he's going simultaneous. I mean, this is risky because you've got a lot of components moving, these multi-phase attacks where you're running everything at the same time, a lot to focus on. And this is where your team comes in to do the calling for you and tell you what you need to worry about. Incredible push through. Queen is still going strong. Troops are allowing her the ability to do this, but can she take the jump, move over, and pick on some more defenses? Yes, she can.
Can he send the wall breakers to get her access to the single target inferno? Pops the ability. I thought that's where we might have seen the extra 5 wall breakers to force the queen in there. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, but it does look good for the hybrid because there is a ton of hogs and miners coming into the back end scattershot. Is this what Activit-E needed from Akram. It certainly looks that way, but the queen has gone down here, Lady B.
Yeah, the queen's gone down, but he's still got 1:12 on the clock. He has got a slew of miners being supported by the wizards right behind them. RC is in decent health, though we're gonna see her get picked off here with all those defenses targeting her all at once. But I think he's got the power to get this done. Absolutely incredible what's left over on this. Great pathing.
They're kind of packing down to the bottom of the base. They are going down fast. He does have a lot of wizards, but they will not be able to get into the single. Plenty of miners. Hopefully they can get this done and keep the war in check for Activit-E. We're getting to the 99. Can they get it?
Yeah.
Here we go. Easy.
Miners.
Easy.
Yeah, that massive pack of miners against one single IT. I shouldn't speak.
Don't want to jinx them again, but Activit-E with the 3 stars. Now it's just down to percentage.
Yeah, coming down to that percent game. I mean, goodness. 10-10. We've got 1 attack remaining for each side, but INTZ still lead on the overall percent here. They're up by just about 9%. Crazy. That's going to be a tough go. We did see INTZ just coming up short with their attacks at 99%, that 96% doing them some favors. So Activit-E will need to come in, pick up the triple, and hope for a defense to get this win.
Yeah, the percentage is huge, isn't it? But they've certainly kept the pressure up. Despite being behind from the off, they have managed to keep going. But the percentage is just really, really good for INTZ, and Activit-E are praying for a super low percent on this one.
Yeah, Activit-E gonna need the defense here. If we see the 3-star, we know this is a done deal, and they saved Bernal for the very end. We'll see if he's gonna be the one to bring it home for INTZ. Coming in with a queen charge, Laloon. We have the RC taking the lead.
His signature move, Queen Charge Lalo, and regular wall breakers. It's Bernal after all.
Yeah, nice to see the regular wall breakers coming back in. As you pointed out in the last attack, you get great value because you're already using those rages to get a big push through. We've got 7 wall breakers, likely to see double layer break coming in, but doesn't get that first layer. Sends in 1 more. Rages it up, gets it open, and he's got the rest of the 3 to get further past into the core of the base here.
Yeah, I love to see the balloons utilizing that rage spell as well, popping the black bomb there. That nice coconut loon, as you mentioned in your previous war, dropping out of a tree like a coconut. And it is a good start for Bernal. He's got access to this enemy queen, setting up the Lalo really nicely.
Yeah, what a way to turn back around, having the impact of your wall breakers failing, but keeping calm, cool, and collected, carrying on, and continuing to power through. That's where you can see the power of the rages and what they get you for these queen charges. Gets that second layer in. Queen has great access, picking up the eagle along the way, but first ensuring that that single IT doesn't pose her problems. She keeps wanting to inch that way, but finally out of range to take on the remaining path.
Incredible.
Yeah. Now I like the loons coming in here. You can see those 6 o'clock loons making their way, trying to head to the single, so we don't see too much backtracking. Queen can continue on, but it's not enough to get them where they need to go. So we might just see that eagle remaining. He still has the back end stone slammer to come into play as well, but this warden needs to step up. He does get the loons.
She got the back end scatter shot. Warden did thankfully get there to the loons, and it does look like he could get this. The single takes down the warden though. That really could change things. Has to get through these defenses fast, but can he get to the single to protect his queen?
This is going to be a tough go. We have that RC defending her podium, but we do have the queen coming into play and the baby dragon actually coming on to take her down. Doesn't quite get her down. The queen's going to try and work it, but he has lost every single loon. Now these minions can try and do cleanup, but try as they might, they've got the Archer Tower to contend with. And again, we've got the reign of that single IT that holds on to the defense. This gives the opening for Activit-E to try and turn around and pick up the win, almost as if INTZ is daring them in a game of chicken now.
Well, the percentage is certainly in INTZ's favor, but as you mentioned, Activit-E can still take this but they've got to get the 3-star. Anything less and they have lost. 97% again. INTZ really close, but Activit-E have now got the gates open and they could nick it.
Yeah, this is a this is a nail biter. 4 minutes left to go. A 3-star determines the win here. Talk about pressure. And they've left all of this on Remio's shoulders. What do we think in chat here? Do we think Remy is gonna get the triple? Do you think he could come in and pick up the win? I'm gonna put in a quick poll in chat, see what everyone thinks before we head into this next attack. Everyone says 3 to win. What do you guys think? Judo, do you think this is gonna happen?
I was gonna say a lot of your viewers actually predicted 13 to 12. You know, before the war started, we had that as well. So I'm gonna, yes, it's happening. It's happening.
It's gonna happen. Okay.
Through.
Let me get the poll in chat. Just have to refresh it to get a new poll going. My stream not loving me today. My computer not loving me today.
Yeah, you haven't had an ideal scenario on this one. At least we know Zoom works a little bit better.
Yeah, Zoom definitely working better for this. Let's get a new poll up in chat. Will he get in? Yes or no? Let us know in the poll. Let us know what you think. If he's going to get this one, are we going to see? The majority of everyone said that we were going to see the win for INTZ. Let's see if they change their minds. Let's see if they've changed their minds. We had a huge % favor for INTZ for the win. I'm curious to know what everyone thinks now. I think it's definitely saving Remy, I think, is a good idea. I've seen Remy with solid performances. But man, 3-star at the very end. We've got the majority of people saying no, but not by much. We've got back to 50-50. This is a tough one. This is a tough one for people to decide what's going to happen.
Other than the 70% attack, though, I think that Activit-E have been really close with the other 3. So, I don't know. Will the pressure have anything to do with this last attack, though? That's the question. I
mean, the pressure is always that factor, something you have to get used to when you're playing in this competitive environment. It's it almost has to become second nature to you. I mean, how many wars have we seen where you have someone like INTZ, who is like the man who doesn't crack under pressure, coming in with that last hit and boom, picks up the 3. Let's see if Remio has what it takes today to get it done. But I love seeing this as we're coming up into an ESL Open Qualifier week. We get to see a little sampling of what we're going to see over next weekend. I hope we see wars just as close as this, though we're not going to see exactly the same environment because we'll see the attacks kind of going all at once.
Yeah.
But I think this gives them some good practice and some good momentum to get into those wars.
Yeah, and lets them test aspects of their bases, I think, in terms of what did work well in a base, what didn't work well, and here we go. Remy is in.
Yeah, Remy diving in here. So the poll was kind of split. We'll see if he can get it done. Nobody really wanted to make that deciding factor on it. But Remio coming in with pretty successful attack strategy that we saw round 1 of EWU. A lot of people using Sui Lalo here to pick up those trips.
Yeah, it's kind of coming back into play heavily at the moment. Is it going to be the strategy to win it for Activit-E? Starting with a double-pronged approach. Royal Champion 2, 1 Inferno Tower. Then we have the King and Queen to the other. Is he going to get it, though? The Skeleton's trap next to the single prevents the Royal Champion.
Yeah, that Royal Champion going down to the Skellies. We have the Queen who's just in line to take down the multi. King doing some phenomenal work here. But did he need that value taken down? Lalo can handle it, but he's going to have to adjust a couple of loons maybe to pick that up. Though the Wizard Tower is going to help spare that from happening. So it is going to have to be a big push coming through. Queen dying out. Eagle is still up, but we'll have to have a pretty widespread entry here. Not quite as cleaned up as you would want to see.
Yeah, I
for the
they
Suey.
really wanted the Eagle Artillery, but the balloons will get to that pretty quickly. Like you said, it's just trying to force them down. We will see the Battle Blimp coming all of the way through, but the balloons take heavy damage already. Thankfully, the Grand Warden's ability will be used early to help them through, help the Battle Blimp through, and it looks pretty strong, but are they going to fizzle out when they get down to the bottom here?
Yeah, it's good to see the Battle Blimp taking the lead there, actually helping that the loons get swept up in the tornado trap because it keeps them a little bit further behind so they don't die out to the impact from the Giga Bomb there from the Town Hall. He gets a nice spread across the defense. It's perfectly placed haste to get into the AD. But, ooh, we're going to see a benefit of the haste coming through for the back end. We've got 1:07 on the clock. That Tesla and Archer Tower, ooh, a few Teslas to come down to.
One haste spell, though, if it's positioned correctly, and I think it is, will power the balloons to the Tesla and Archer Tower. Then we've got more than enough for the back-end Tesla. Activit-E are doing what they do best, and that is getting some 3 stars in Clash of Clans.
Remy, absolutely coming into play where he needed to, bringing this back around. All looked like it was lost a little bit early on from the percent factor, but they kept it close, 3-star to 3-star, and taking huge advantage from INTZ's very last slip up there and picking up the win. Good job, Remio. I don't think
3 stars to end off the war. What an exciting finish. 98.4% total destruction for INTZ, but they lose. Activit-E swoop in with the stars, and there you go. We couldn't have asked for a better finish.
Absolutely not. I mean, you see a percentage like that and you know it wasn't without solid effort, solid planning, but equally we saw that from Activit-E as well. Those plans that they had including that mass hog. I've never seen anything quite as interesting as that. I do think it was a plan. I would love to see that done again the way they intended. But some solid base building, holding off these beautifully planned attacks, but equally some perfection in those triples. GG, guys. Judo, it was amazing to be able to showcase this war with you. You guys get to see the quality that comes along with Judo, too. The ESL streams, the cast that we get to see that he brings to the table when he is doing the breakdown commentary. So definitely an honor to have Judo Sloth co-casting as well, and co-casting along with him over on his channel. So thank you so much, Judo.
Yes, no, thank you for joining me as well. We had a ton of fun here. Plenty of people enjoying today's war, so it was a privilege to have you as well. And I actually went back over in our chat to get your logo for my stream, and it was 2018 when we last worked together.
Was it really? Oh my goodness.
Over in a year ago.
Yeah, I know. I was like, when was the last time Judo and I worked together?
Yeah.
It's been quite some time. But I did take a little time off of streaming. So that was, it's been a big push this year to kind of get back into things and get back into the groove. Now, if only I could get my Rush Town Hall 12 up to 13 and catch up with the rest of you guys.
Well, it's good to see you back into it heavily as well. How many wars have you covered today? Is this 4 wars you're covering?
Yeah, it's
Incredible.
4 wars. 4 wars, 5 hours today. So we'll be heading back over into some CWL action. We've got Cloud 21 up against Inquisition, which has some of the EVE guys, the 11 original guys in there. And we've got JL facing up against Noobs' team, Noobs in TV. So German versus German versus German versus German.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to be incredible. And, I've had a ton of fun. I will send everyone right across to your stream now so that they can enjoy the rest of it with you. And thank you for joining me on my channel. Thank you for having me on your channel. And I look forward to doing it again sometime.
Thanks so much, Judo. And thank you to everybody tuning in, everybody who's over in my stream. Definitely stay tuned. We'll be heading straight back over. Make sure you're following Judo on Twitch. Are you over on Mad Cat too?
Yes, I am on Twitch, Facebook, and Madcat. I've been on every single one of them today.
Okay, so make sure to follow Judo on all of those platforms there. So thanks again, Judo. Have a lovely day. I hope you have. I hope you're able to get some rest tonight.
I will. I gotta be up straight thing in the morning. But yeah, I will. Thank you again, guys. I'm gonna send you across to LadyB. Be sure to, if you're not following LadyB's channel, be sure to follow when you get there. Spam some emotes, and you guys have a good one. Thanks again for having me, LadyB.
Bye, Judo.